Beautiful, bright, radiant souls, hello and welcome to this video. Welcome to Ascension to Love with Alice. I am Alice, as you can probably imagine. I'm not sure where you're watching this video. You might be on YouTube, might be on Instagram, might be on Facebook or some other place entirely, but I just want to say thank you so much for everyone that is joining me here. If you've followed your intuition to watch this video, then I'm really excited to share with you whatever insight and love and guidance that comes through from the archangels, from our shining ones, right? The ascended masters and any of the fae beings, elemental beings, whomever is coming forward. They are of a frequency that is so much higher than polarity. So we are drawing in all the gorgeous help from a non-dualistic state, right? So that unconditional love, that 5D and all the way up and above. If you are a regular viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It's always an honor to hear from you, to interact with you, and to just connect with you. So we are all connected. But like I was saying, this is going to be a reading for the sun moving into the sign of Cancer. So that's from June the 21st, 2021, all the way through to July 22nd, right? So this is a really incredible space and time. It starts with the summer solstice, winter solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere, of course. So it starts with the solstice. We have a supermoon, the last supermoon in the first part of that sun in Cancer, you know. We've got a few retrogrades going on, you know. We will have Mercury retrograde closing up right through this space and time. We've got Jupiter in retrograde, Saturn, Pluto, another one as well. I'm not sure. There's another retrograde happening in a few days as well, right near the start of the sun moving into Cancer. But, you know, we could talk about that all day, and that would make a really long and tiresome intro. So let's let's go straight to this reading. I'm going to start by drawing some Archangel cards. So I love this deck of cards. It's one of Diana Cooper's. It's the Archangel Oracle. So we're just going to have a look here. So beautiful angels and guides, which archangels are supporting us through the sun's transit in the sign of Cancer. Happy birthday to all the Cancers out there as well. Okay, who is supporting us? Who is looking after us? Who is helping us? Who wants to be here? We've got, of course, we've got Seraphina, that bridge to source. She is really connecting our stellar gateway all the way up through to the cosmic diamond, right, to the to source. You know, she connects us, she helps us build that bridge, right? She helps bring that light down. Really powerful energy. We've got guardian angel coming in as well. So look at that. We've got literally like the highest of light coming in with the Seraphim, Seraphina, and then we've got our guardian angel coming straight in as well. So bringing it right back to us, right back to home, right back to our individual mission. You know, we all have guardian angel, that can be one or plural. And they are, you know, they're here to support us and look after us in the sense of they love us so unconditionally. They literally, like, doesn't matter what you do, what you say, they just love you, right? They don't know anything else. That's what the guardian angel does, and they are here to help us, right? But we forget sometimes as humans that we do have free will, right? And we have to ask and be open to receiving that guidance from them. So let's continue. Who we've got? We've got Archangel Gabriel coming in. Ooh, I love that. So Archangel Gabriel, as well as, you know, looking after kind of the creative aspects, communication, bringing us his cosmic diamond. You know, Archangel Gabriel also looks after the lower chakras, right? So, so that's the root chakra, that's the sacral chakra, and that's the navel chakra, right? So that's a lot of the feminine chakras, you know, that's connecting us. That actually is really where we can get blocked most of the time as humans, if we're, you know, especially if you're a starseed watching this, right? If you're a starseed watching this and you may not feel like you belong, if you ever have that feeling, or kind of like, you know, a bit tired of the all earthly dynamics and things like that, you know, that's because there is an imbalance somewhere in the root or in the sacral, right? So and that's really interesting, I find personally, because that's the connection with Mother Earth, with our divine mother. We see how it's then pairing up to be that feminine sign. Anyway, I digress. Let's pull one final Archangel card here. Let's see who else is going to join us to take us through the sun in Cancer. Raguel. Ooh, okay. So we've got being fair in all situations, resolving our conflicts. Archangel Raguel is very much about literally balancing, you know, is helping resolve whatever is going on, whether that's legal matters, whether that's familial dynamics, you know, is an incredible archangel. And we've got we've got Archangel Rokiel. So I laugh because, so Seraphina works with Metatron to bring that light down, light from source down to us, so that we can be that bridge, right, of source, for, bridging heaven and earth. Archangel Rokiel is all about, helping Lady Gaia. He works with Lady Gaia. He's the twin flame of Archangel Jules, who works with the oceans, but really helping us connect all that interstellar light, bringing it down into the earth, dispersing it around where she needs it, and also bringing that back up as well, you know, so working with the ley lines as well, and really just being that blazing light. You know, when you have a light shining on you, when you are doing service of the light, you know, you have a spotlight on you for the angels, the archangels, the other beings of light to really, really help you. So really interesting that Archangel Rokiel is on the bottom of the deck for this reading. I'm really excited to actually see how this month or so is going to progress here. So let's just get a little feel here for what they want to say first and foremost. You know, this transit of the sun, and the sun is like, it's kind of how we show up, right? It's you know, the moon very much highlights the subtleties, the emotional body, spiritual body, that feminine aspect, you know, that feminine body, to a point. You know, it's not that, you know, anyway, and then the sun is very much kind of like that masculine aspect. Some people call it the ego, others is kind of like your personality, how you show up. So when we're looking at the sun, here in the sign of Cancer, you know, there's a lot of this bridging happening. There's a lot of this personal help, you know, kind of bringing it back to home. And, you know, Cancerians are really incredible at kind of this, the way that they hold the space for their family, you know, protect and hold and shield in light, you know, with that shell of theirs. And Archangel Gabriel coming in here, bringing in that purification energy as well, which I find really, really interesting, because once again, with Cancer is actually, you know, governed by the moon, right? So I find already just doing this reading, you know, to have kind of like a balance in that masculine and feminine, because Cancerian's governed by the moon, but the sun is transiting, right? So really, really interesting. And then kind of balancing it out. Yeah, any injustices that you may have been going through, these are going to start to get resolved, right? New beginnings are going to start to arise on a much more balanced and level playing field, right? And you may not have found that before. I am actually going to use the moon cards just because it's Cancer we're reading for. So moving into Cancer, what can you tell us about these 4 weeks? Let's have a little look. What's going to be going on? What do we need to know? What guidance do we have? We've got this time to take action. That's fascinating, because this is the last card that came out for the super full moon at the start of when the sun moves into Cancer. So I find that really phenomenal, because they're pairing up. That shows the synchronicities, that shows the pairing up really well. You'll want to watch that video to tune into that, because it talks about the manifestation week in the run-up. We've got this working through fears, and this is going to be a big one, right? And this is what Cancer can do so well, because they are so super intuitive, because they are so connected with the lunar cycles, with the moon, with that subtle body, with the veiled things, you know, the veiled energies within them, within others, within the world. You know, we're going to be able to see things that maybe we do need to work on, we do need to clear, right? And Guardian Angel is going to be helping that. And, you know, the Scorpio energy, and I feel like this is very much about the Pluto retrograde, because, you know, Pluto is governed by Scorpio, and the Scorpio energy is another water sign. Obviously, Cancer is a water sign. But the Scorpio energy really goes deep into the depths of things, right? So it's kind of like that retrograde is influencing in a really good way the sun, right? The sun in Cancer for everyone. It's going to allow us to really go deep within there. So where's Gabriel here? Energy gaining momentum. Hello, Virgo. You are good enough. And yeah, self-worth, right? And there's a lot of this balancing that's going to be happening. And I think the Virgo card is a really good one. I just want to bring this. Look at that. Scales. Seriously, you guys, talk about synchronicities. Whoo. Okay, so there's a lot of balancing. It is a balancing act, right? It's a balancing act, that bridging. What's really interesting is that, you know, if you felt stagnant over the past few weeks through the eclipse season, through the supermoons, if you felt stagnant, if you felt kind of like going in a few different directions, if you felt like it's been a bit kind of foggy, this is really going to help clear up, right? You know, we're going to get that kind of go ahead, that fire energy, that fire in our belly, you know. We're really going to feel connected with that to start to take not deep, but start to take solid steps forward, right? You know, and, you know, we may come across a bit of a hurdle when it comes to some of our emotions and some of our karmic cycles is what I'm hearing, karmic cycles that are due to complete. But we have to have gone deeper into things to actually understand them and unravel them and rewrite them, you know. But then once we've done that, you know, it's actually going to purify, clear, and allow us to get really creative. And when we get more creative, when we spend time in our bliss and our joy and just being in that fun space rather than obligation, when we spend our time in that purified light of Gabriel, you know, we get more and more ideas, right? And I love that we've got this full moon in Virgo coming up here because, you know, one of the things about Virgoan energy is that, you know, when it's imbalanced, look how we have balanced scales here and here, but when Virgo is imbalanced, is that self-deprecation, you know, there's that kind of over caring, over like a smothering energy, it can be, you know, but it all stems from like this self-worth energy, right? Which once again stems from that mother energy, that mother connection. This not necessarily is relating to your personal birth mother, but actually the connection that we have to the divine feminine, the desecration she's gone through over the millennia. And that's being balanced out. And then what happens when that gets balanced out is that, you know, when we have Rokiel here showing up as that divine masculine aspect of the earth, which is how he's showing up here, paired with this divine feminine aspect, right? It's bringing that back into balance, and then the masculine can be that container, that structure for the feminine to flow and move and be free and be safe and create and birth and all of that glory and goodness and yumminess, you know. I love as well that we've got 2 new moon cards and 2 full moon cards here. So, and it really feels as well, look, and we've got quite a look, we've got Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, right? 1, 2, 3, they go in order. And Aries as well, you know. Yeah, it's really interesting because Aries is the start of the zodiac, right? So it really is like that start of something new coming in. Yeah, and the depth of where Scorpio is going to bring us to at the start of the moon, at the start of the sun going into Cancer is really going to help us rebalance so many things without us even realizing. I think it's just going to kind of happen as our days go by. It is a very powerful month. You know, we're getting more and more we're moving more and more closer to Lion's Gateway, right? And what's really fascinating is that, you know, the Schumann resonance, the solar flares, the light from the sun is getting so powerful that it's completely wiping out the Schumann resonance, you know. You know, it's been blank for 4 days now, for over 100 hours actually even. So, you know, with all that extra light coming in here, bridging down, anchoring into the earth, you know, there is this kind of to and fro a little bit of kind of like the settling of the waters, so to speak, but then we have this balance, and not only there but also here, right? So really interesting. But let's pull a couple of cards here. So with the sun in Cancer, what's going to be our main struggles through this space and time? Like what's going to be our main struggles? Let's have a look at that first. I just want to say thank you so much as well for the sweet soul who gifted me these cards. There is a donation link and there is a gift list in the description box below should you enjoy these videos and wish to exchange energy with me in that type of way. It's always appreciated, always received with love, with gratitude, and, you know, blessings sent back to you for multifold abundance coming back through. But let's see here, what's going to be challenging for us? Okay. Yeah, okay, wow. Yeah, so look at that renewal energy. Right, so we have here, we've got the 7 of Cups coming up, okay? We've got the 8 of Cups, and then we've got the 8 of Swords. You know, when you're working with a deck of cards that, you know, they don't actually have words on. It's like, am I saying water? Am I saying cups? What am I saying? So this is really, really interesting. So some of the things that may challenge us is we may have so many ideas, like which way do we actually go? And look at this, we've got new moon, right? So 2 new moon energies coming in here right at the get-go, which I find really, really interesting, because it's kind of like, you know, you don't know which way to go. It's like there is a door closing, but it's kind of like, are we afraid of that? Are we afraid of that? Or are we ready to take the next step? Are we ready to go through the doorway which the divine is opening for us, right? You know, because there is big shifts here that are able to happen, right? There is massive shifts able to happen, especially in the spiritual world. And once again, because that Cancer sign is a water sign, it is oh, it's just started raining. Oh, that's so nice. Very synchronistic as well. I wish I could move the camera and show you, but it's just started raining lightly, so that's beautiful. Sometimes I get guided to kind of bring that in because I notice it. My guides are bringing it to notice it, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, everything is connected, right? If it's happening somewhere, it's happening somewhere else, right? If it's happening for you, it's happening for someone else. But there is this energy of kind of maybe overanalyzation, you know, spending too much time in our mind, right? When really we want to be spending time with that flow of energy, that womb space, even, you know, where things do flow. Whether you're a man or a woman, we all have that womb space, that gut instinct as well, you know. But yeah, it's really, really interesting, because it is, not only is it that it's kind of like make a decision time, but it will actually start to become clear, you know. But it's kind of like maybe at the start of this transit, it's going to be like, okay, I really don't know which way I'm going. There's really too much choice. This seems appealing, but I also have this choice and this choice and this choice that also seems appealing. There's pros and cons for everything. We're analysing too much, right? We're analysing too much. I mean, time will always help us out here, but we also need to be decisive as well, because if we don't continue to tell the universe what it is that we do want, and we do that by tuning into ourselves, by breathing, by pausing, by going outside, by moving out of that analytical space that kind of distorts our energy fields, but actually connecting with the earth, connecting with water, working with those beautiful elements, you know, that's going to allow us to actually release any of those fears, right? Which is what is going to keep things confusing for us, and actually go, you know what, it is time for me to move forward here, move onwards and upwards. There is no looking back. It's okay. You know, you're never leaving someone or something. You're never kind of missing out when we move forward. We are creating space, right? And this is what it's like what they're saying here. You know, it's time to choose to make a big choice, because it's time to put you first, right? And you know, and it's very much linked to entrapment. It's very much linked to, actually, do I have those choices? It's very much linked to you know, kind of the veil really falling away here, right? It's kind of like, and look, she even shows you on this card here, look, you know, she has this blindfold on. And what's really, really interesting here, you know, we've got 2 8s as well, right? 8s are all about that abundance. 7's about that go, you know, that infinity essence here. But the entrapment is no more. Things are balancing out cosmically. You don't need to worry about that. You really don't. You just need to focus on you and what you want, what your soul wants, right? And when we do that, and when we actually, you know, go with the flow of what we're being encouraged to with, you know, with the world, essentially, with how the energies are supporting us, there's going to be a lot of chatter on the earth stage this coming month, a lot of distractions. It is, you know, it might feel like the pendulum is swinging, it really might do, and that's okay, because, you know, it kind of has to find that neutral point, to find that that peace and that calmness, to find that balance, right? So we might be afraid of change of choice, of this, that and the other. It's going to be challenging for us to stay focused, but we can do it. Do stay tuned as well, guys, to, you know, tune into the angelic guidance for the week, the weekly guidance, to really go into that in more depth and detail on a week-by-week basis, because that's going to be really important. And you'll be able to find that both on Instagram and on YouTube and Facebook. But let's have a look at I'm just going to actually get a clarified card. What veils are looking to come off here? Why is it going to be challenging? The High Priestess. Yes. Yes. kind of what have you been told that you need to do? What is the expectation? What is the obligation? Can we pull all that back? You know, take away the structure, take away all of that societal pressure, take away all the beliefs that other people have put onto you. No, this is a time to get to know you. That's what veil is coming off, is how well you know yourself. You know, how well you know yourself, how well you're listening to whatever it is that your heart and your soul wants, right? You know, and only then will you be able to take aligned action, right? You know, but it starts and ends with your intuition, right? It starts and ends with your intuition. What is going to be really supporting us through this sun in Cancer? Justice. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3 cards of justice here. So clearly there is going to be some major justice coming through on a personal level, on a global level, on a national level. Something in this before the 22nd of July, there is going to be some epic justice coming through that feels very, very specific. It's going to be very helpful for us. We've got the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Air coming in as well. And the Six of Air, right? End of challenging times. Look at that swan. Love as well, you know. There's just a side note, this will only apply to a couple of you. But there is this energy of like new love as well. That will just be for a few of you watching this. That's probably not a general message for everyone, but look at that Hermit on the bottom of the deck. Hermit, Virgo. You know, they're governed by the same, it's like the same kind of energy with Archangel Raziel coming in here. I don't know if you can see that actually, so I'm just going to move that in a bit. There we go. But yeah, and it's really interesting because so this justice is going to be supporting us, right? It's going to be supporting us. But once again, I'm really hearing and feeling, you know, don't get too distracted by it. Don't get too distracted by it. You know, stand up for what you believe in. Make sure you are using your voice, because the thing is, you guys, is that if we don't use our voice, especially now, we're not going to be using our voice going forward, you know, because we give it away too much. So this is really helping us find our voice, use our voice, and balance it out in light. And this is the difference, right? Using our voice doesn't mean to say we get all bolshy and crass and things like that. That's not what using our voice is. Using our voice with an ascended throat chakra is working with higher communication, speaking the truth, being in integrity, lighting up the situation, balancing it out, completing the karma with your voice, right? And once again, this is Archangel Raguel, which is this guy here. You know, it's about allowing ourselves to be impartial as well. That's why that Libran energy is coming in here. You know, allow ourselves to be impartial, because when we get too involved in a situation, we let emotions come into it. You know, that's when we're going to be tapping into those fears, right? And we don't want to manifest that, you know? We don't want to manifest that so much. But, you know, yeah, it's all about cause and effect, right? This is all about cause and effects. There is going to be this kind of cycle of cause and effects coming to completion, you know. Any misunderstandings, any conflicts, they're going to be coming through to clear. Now, this could be on a personal level with relationships, once again, relationships, work situations, etc., etc., but also on a global level, it feels very much like. And, you know, it is time to take back our power, right? It is time to take back our power and stand in your sovereignty, right? But at the same time, it's kind of like, can we do that in a way that's calming and neutralizing and completing the karmic cycle, rather than adding an energy of anger or adding an energy, and it's right to be angry, right? It'll be right to be angry for certain situations. Do not get me wrong, okay? And express that in a healthy way. Allow that to transmute in a healthy way. But remember, whatever energy you're putting out there, that's the law of cause and effect. Whatever goes out comes back, right? And what's really, really interesting here is that we move from Archangel Raguel here. Once again, another 8 number. 1, 2, 3 8s here. A lot of abundance coming in, you know, for this month for people if they choose to receive it. But this is about winning as well, right? Winning whatever is to be won for you. We've got the Queen of Air coming in. The Queen of Air, you know, she's hilarious, the Queen of Air. She's you know, she's able to once again balance and release and transmute. Look, all these butterflies on the throne that she's sat upon. You know, she's looking backwards, right? She's not looking forwards here right now. She's looking backwards and kind of going, you know, I'm cutting through the BS, right? I'm cutting through it all, but I'm going to allow it all to transmute under grace, to transform from the caterpillar to the butterfly. It's time for everyone to come out of that cocoon, you know? It's going to be like forward movement as well when it comes to career and things like that. It's really nice. That's kind of what the Queen of Eye usually kind of stands for. But it's all interlinked with this, which is really, really fascinating. It's like everything is interlinking into everything else for this particular part of the reading, you know. Yeah. A lot of transformation happening and just really cutting through with freshness, you know. And then we've got the Six of Air coming in, right? And the Six of Air it's like things are really looking up, right? It's kind of like you're traversing the waters, you know. It's smooth. Look, you know, mum's there with child, and that's very much kind of Cancer energy as well. You know, the Cancer energy, you know, they really protect their family, right? They really look after one another, and that's kind of what it feels like, is that this community is forming more and more and more and more, you know, leading the way. Vita Nova, look at that. It's like new life, right? Is that Latin? If that's Latin, then that's really interesting, because what I'm hearing as well from my guides is kind of like it's linking it to Romans and to kind of the slavery timelines, and that's kind of coming out to rebalance here. And I'm getting kind of drawn to, you know, when the Magdalens fled, you know, fled on a boat and landed in France, right? You know, kind of like that energy. You know, they're guided by the most regal sovereignty here. Look at this. This is about sovereign, like a new sovereign life. You know, maybe this is the time that you are going to take your Article 61 oath, right? Maybe that's when you're going to do that to actually reclaim your sovereignty, right? You know, maybe this is when you are looking at moving house, moving places, moving, you know, moving just everything in your life. It just feels like everything's afloat right now, and it can move to however you want it to fall. It's kind of like, you know, literally allow it to form, build your castle, you know. Relief is here, and it's smooth sailing if you wish it to be, right? But that's only because you've done the work, right? That's only because you've sat there, you've gone through, you've felt, you've transmuted the energy coming in, this uncertainty, you know, you've dove deep into the fears, into the worries, and you've kind of faced them, right? You know, you've cried it out, you've done all that work, you know, you've gone, oh my God, this really, really scares me. But then from doing that, you've been able to go, well, yeah, but you know what? You know, they can't do anything. No one can do anything. I don't have to do anything in life. You know, my life is my life. And that's kind of what the realization is going to be. It's like, my life is my life. It's that Hermit card coming in with Raziel, who's the weaver of the Akashic records of time and space, you know, and it's that going inward here, which once again is connected to the High Priestess as well in certain ways. Because the High Priestess, you know, is that moon energy. It's Archangel Haniel. Cancer is that, you know, governed by the moon once again. But when we move here to this card, this Hermit card, this is Raziel, kind of weaving through time. It links in with Virgo energy. And once again, Virgo energy here is at the bottom of, is at the end of this reading, right? Which is all about self-worth, you know, self-mastery, understanding your value, right? Not being told by someone else what your value is, but actually knowing it, just really understanding that. And I can't stress this enough. And, you know, we give away so much, our value, our worth, we let someone else dictate to us what it is that, you know, we let someone else dictate to us how much they think that we're worth, and how much, you know, like if you're looking at a job, you know, you'll let someone pay you minimum wage when you know you can't even live off that, you know, you can't even pay your rent off that, you know what I mean? Because that's just the standard, the status quo. But that is all changing, right? That is what is getting rewritten here. So there's a lot of legal matters that are going to be up in the air, right? A lot of kind of like picking apart and weaving of certain things. but it is going to feel like a juggling act, and it is going to feel around you like it might be a little bit chaotic, and that's why it's going to be really important to just kind of stay focused on you, because this is happening anyway. The archangels are looking after it, the powers that be are looking after it. We just have to focus on our life, getting outside, going through the doors that are being opened to us, and just trying, because what's the worst that's going to happen? Seriously, you guys, you know, what's the worst that's going to happen, right? You know, we'll get justice, you know. We've got the Knight of Knight of Water coming in here as well. You know, this romantic energy, flirtatious, you know, kind of like, once again, that new dynamic, new situations. And I just want to show you as well what's coming out here. But this these cards just not flew off, but slid off. There we go. And it's the Victory card, right? It's the Six of Fire, right? A lot of public recognition, victory, things like that. So there's a lot of really fascinating energy coming through for this sun moving into Cancer. It's a really, really powerful month. I'm going to be so interested to see what this looks like on a week-by-week basis. So do be sure to be checking in on those weekly angelic guidances. Once again, this card is just talking about bringing in that subtle side. Really allow the energy of Cancer, and look where Cancer is in your chart, right? Look at what house that's in, to look at what might be going really, really well for you, what might be in the spotlight, if you're into your astrology and things like that. Look at whether you have a sun or a moon or a Venus or rising or something like that in Cancer, and just see how that's working for you in your favor right now, you know. And but allow the energy of Cancer to bring you within yourself, to actually sort through the confusion, right? Sort through it, allow it to rebalance within you, because as within, so without. Whatever you see within happening is going to happen in the outer world as well. But there is a lot to happen on the Earth stage this month. It's very, very clear. We've got a lot of threes coming in, right? You go 3 8s, we've got 3 scales, we've got 3 Raguels, you know. There's a lot of that energy coming in, and that's really, really important, because 3 is an alchemy number, right? It's an alchemy, it's a magic number. So this is looking a little bit messy. So I'm just going to move these cards over here and try and tidy them up a little bit. Yeah, I'll just move those back over here, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a couple of final guidance cards. Let's put that there. I'm just going to pull a couple of final guidance cards for us before we go, just to kind of, you know, a last word before we close this video up. Final bit of guidance from the archangels and the beautiful, beautiful beings of love and light that are surrounding us, that are around us here. Yeah, let's see. Let's see, beautiful, beautiful angels, guides, and beings of love and light. A couple of final cards to bid everyone farewell. And you know, you guys, if you are yeah, it's a great time to book in an angelic guidance session. You know, 30 minutes, half an hour. Let's do some quantum weaving, right? Some healing of the soul, releasing and balancing of karma. It's a great, great time to be doing that. So if that intrigues you, like cellular rewrites and soul realignments, if those words kind of sound a bit intriguing to you, do feel very welcome to send me a message to inquire further about them. My email is in the description box below, or you can message my Instagram and Facebook page, Ascension to Love with Alice. Yeah, it's just a really fascinating time with so much potential. So much potential. Okay. She says, finishing with a lucid dream card. Brilliant. And dragonfly on the bottom. Veils shifting, transformation, magic, illusion, disappearing. So final guidance coming in from our beautiful friends. We have this winter energy, so especially if you're watching this on the southern hemisphere as well, that's very, very poignant for you. But there's a lot of releasing energy happening, transition, reflection, going inwards, kind of you know, there is that constant theme of going in, because there is a massive evolution and ascension happening within each individual person of their spirituality, on their spirituality aspect, right? You know, if there was ever a time that this is a wake up, this is a wake up of energy, right? This is a what's the word? It is like an ascension, right? There is a new level of understanding, of depth, that will be accessible a new level of humility and spiritual wisdom, right? Accessible through this sun transit, and finishing with this, which is one of the best cards in this deck, right? The lucid dreaming card, which is all about awareness and opportunities. Literally, it's just like, this is a massive like yes card. Whatever your deepest desires and dreams, they have the potential to really come through by the end of this, you know, before the sun moves into Leo, and when it moves into Leo in mid-July, oh my gosh, you know, that's going to be even more fiery and powerful. So I can't even begin to imagine what that reading is going to be like. But in the meantime, focus on releasing, focus on feeling, focus on flowing and being. Know that things are being balanced in the exterior world. You just focus on balancing the interior world for you. You know, go within, connect, meditate, breathe, right? Work with the element of water, work with the moon, right? There is so much shifting, so much happening, so much opportunity. And then literally just open your arms and, you know, say, I receive, I receive, I receive. Thank you, I receive. Thank you, I receive. You know? So beautiful souls, and a slightly longer reading than usual, but I hope you have found it enjoyable. Thank you for all those that have stayed till the end. If you are feeling called to go a little bit deeper, I'd love to book a session with you, so do feel very welcome to send me a message to inquire about them, or to book in, whichever you're ready for. And if I don't yet see you on my Instagram or Facebook, do feel very welcome. The Isis Dream Temple is a great Facebook group for you to join, where we you know, it's where magic meets mystery, right? It's where we talk a little bit more about the mystery school teachings, and I hold sacred circles in that space as well, so it'll be an absolute pleasure to receive you in there. But until next time, have the most beautiful rest of your day. Have the most beautiful rest of June, July, and thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you for your light. Lots of love. Bye for now.